कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Kaushika, a Kshatriya who was the son of Gadhi, Divya Gadhi Suta Savana, says Swati Tirunal. That Gadhi Suta called Kaushika, who was a Kshatriya, the moment he realized that Vasishta possessed a certain divine cow, a wish-yielding, granting cow called as Shabala, he got this intent that he should own the cow. Vasishta was not ready to part with that cow, so the cow generated an army, says Srimad Ramayana, and so was the other army that Kaushika possessed. Both of them fought and Kaushika lost that war. He goes back to his kingdom and tells that his son must rule the kingdom and retires to the Himalaya Parvatam. At the foothills of the Kailasha Parvatam, he performs penance to Lord Shiva. Yadi Tushto Mahadeva. Then Lord Shiva appears, Mahadeva, who is referred to as Ashutoshi. Ashutoshi means the one who has the ability to get impressed instantly and blesses his devotees. So if you see most of the Puranas, people who want boons will always seek from Shiva because he will grant boons immediately. Whereas to get boons from Lord Sriman Narayana Paramatma is very tough. But such boons will last forever. Here he impressed Lord Shiva. Now Lord Shiva appeared in front of Gadhi Sutta, who is Kaushika. Yadi Tushto Mahadeva. Now Kaushika tells, hey Mahadeva, hey Lord Shiva, if you have been impressed with my sincerity and penance, Yadi Tushto Mahadeva, Dhanurvedo Mamanagha, Sango Pango Panishadaha, Sarahasyaha Pradiyatam. Give me those secret missiles, all those particular missiles or astrams with which I can defeat Vasishta. Shiva, true to the name Ashutoshi, grants him those missiles. Having had those missiles in his hand, he feels that he has the ability to fight Vasishta. He goes to the hermitage of Vasishta and summons Vasishta for a war. Brahmadandam samudyamya kaladandamivaparam. Brahmadandam samudyamya kaladandamivaparam. So that is when all the astras that were posed by Vasishta or Vishwamitra, each of them started fighting. Finally, when Vishwamitra hurled those missiles at Vasishta, Vasishta held his Brahmadandam, the staff, and all those astrams were absorbed. Like how if you keep a magnet, all those iron pieces will come together, they get clustered, right? Similarly, all the astrams came to the Brahmadandam held by Vasishta. That is when Vishwamitra, now for us it is Kaushika Maharaja, who realized that I do not have the ability to fight Vasishta. He looks like a poor Brahmana, but look, he is able to win over all my astrams. That is when he goes back to penance and performs severe austerities. Meanwhile, there was a king, Satyavrata, not true to his name. He was banished to the forest due to his acts which were not adhering to the Vedic tradition. He drove away a cow which was given as a gift to a Brahmana. He married the lady who was meant and who was already engaged to another man too. And whenever he used to serve the Lord, whenever he had to eat, he never used to serve that food to the Lord. These three mistakes in him, thereby he was called a Trishanku, the one who had performed these three sins. So this Trishanku had this unique wish that he had to go to Swargalokam with this material body, with this Pancha Bhautika Shariram. He wanted to go to Swargalokam, because we know when the Atma departs from the body, anybody's body, even the Mr. World, Miss Universe, Miss World's body has to be burnt. So, but he wanted to go with his body. He went and sought the intervention of Vasishta Maharshi. He said, Vasishta, please do something to help me go with this material body to Swargalokam. Vasishta said, I will not engage in activities which are against the Vedic traditions. After having heard a no, N-O, no from Vasishta, he goes to the sons of Vasishta and tells them, could you please allow me to go to Swargalokam with this body? The sons of Vasishta tell, when my father has denied, when our father Vasishta has denied, you have the audacity, the arrogance to come and ask his sons to do a thing which the father has denied. Thereby we curse that you should become Chandala. So thereby his entire body from that of silk clothes turned into rags. And he became a person who would consume the dog meat. Dog meat used to be consumed in those days, but such practices were abhorred. They were not encouraged, because there were only certain animals whose meat could be consumed on certain days. Not that Hinduism says or Sanatana Dharma says that everybody should be a vegetarian. Some people can choose to be non-vegetarians, but vegetarianism is preferred. So in such a scenario, dog meat was generally not allowed to be consumed, but there were a group of people who would consume the dog meat. So he turned into a Chandala. After having turned into a Chandala as well, he wanted to go with the same body to Swargalokam. That is when he comes and asks Vishwamitra, can you help me with your austerities, with your power to send me to Swargalokam? The moment Vishwamitra heard this, he said, this is not possible by me. This is where it should have ended. But this Trishanku was very intelligent. He said, see, Vasishta has denied. His sons also said they could not perform. I thought you could do it. Now you are also saying you cannot. The moment he heard the line, Vasishta said he will not do, Vishwamitra was of the opinion that I should do what Vasishta cannot. So he said, Trishanku, with the powers that I have accumulated, I shall send you to Swargalokam. You may go to Swargalokam. So as the body was ascending, going up to Swargalokam, Indra was worried that now Trishanku will come and trouble me in Swargalokam. So he took his Vajrayudam and hit on the head of Trishanku. So Trishanku came falling down. That is when Vishwamitra says, stay there. Hey Trishanku, stay there. Tishta, tishta. There you stay, there you stay. So he stood and he stayed in the mid-air, neither Swargam nor Bhumi. That is when he said, I shall create a separate world for you. So a separate Swargalokam was created with the austerities, the power that Vishwamitra had accrued for Trishanku. So generally in the mundane world, when we have to innovate, we do something which most of our ancestors have not done, or something which is very unique. It is a practice in most traditions to say this is Trishanku Swargam. Trishanku Swargam means something which is unique. The other context where Trishanku Swargam is used is, one is Vishwamitra Srishti, because he had done something unique. Trishanku Swargam is also used in another context where it is neither here nor there. For students of chemistry, you will know, there are certain elements which are neither metals nor non-metals. They combine the properties of both. They are metalloids, right? Similarly, Trishanku Swargam is neither Swargalokam of Indra nor Bhumi of we mortals. So it's somewhere in the middle. So Indra pushed him, and thereby Swargalokam was created for him. Now what happened to Vishwamitra? Vishwamitra, with all the austerities and the penance that he had done, the power that he had accrued, he had lost. The charge was gone. Now, after having done this, he performs a penance to Brahma. Brahma comes and says, Rishistwamasi bhadram te swarjitaihi karmabhishubhaihi. I now grant you the position of being a rishi. Now, Vishwamitra was very against that. He wanted to become a Brahmarishi, that particular state, what Vasishta had got. Thereby, he continued performing austerities by the banks of the lake called Pushkaram. If you go to now the city itself is named Pushkar in Rajasthan. There it is believed that the lake itself is the water, is the Lord. So, Vishwamitra, he performed, Kaushika Raja, who's going to become later Vishwamitra, he performed penance. That is when Menaka, who's dispatched by Indra, comes and swims in front of him. You can imagine that scene. So, Kaushika Maharaja, who was fully concentrating in his penance, now started looking at Menaka drenched in her clothes. That is when both of them fall in love, and thereby Menaka gets pregnant. From this portion is where Mahakavi Kalidasa chops and develops into a beautiful natakam called as Abhignana Shakuntalam. This particular pregnant Menaka delivers a girl child and she abandons a child because she has to go to the next project. She has to go and disturb the penance of some other Maharishi. This child was abandoned by the mother. Now the father also wanted to continue his austerities, so he also abandoned the girl child. This girl child was protected by many birds, Shakunta. Since she was protected by the birds, she is called Shakuntala. Vishwamitra, Kaushika Maharaja continued performing penance. That is when Brahma comes and grants him the status of Maharishi. Earlier he was a Rishi, now he becomes a Maharishi. Maharishi Shabdam Labhatam Sadhvayam Kushika Atmajaha. Kushika son Kaushika, he became a Maharishi now. Now he comes to the south, so he has gone in different directions. He comes to the southern direction. He must have come to the city Nagareshu Kanchi, to this beautiful city called Kanchipuram. There while he was performing penance, Rambha is dispatched, another damsel, another Apsaras is dispatched by Indra to hurt the penance of Vishwamitra. Now the moment Vishwamitra realizes that this is a prank played upon him by Indra, he curses that Rambha should remain like a stone. She was cursed to be like a stone. Now he continues performing penance in Kanchipuram. In Kanchipuram, which is a city, you have a small hamlet where Darbha, the holy grass, used to be grown. Like how in the north of India, Kashi is a very important city. In the south of India, Kanchi is a very important city. So, Nagareshu Kanchi, say the poets. So, amongst the cities, the best is Kanchipuram. And in the city of Kanchipuram, there is a locality where the holy grass called Darbha used to be grown. So, holy in Tamil, the South Indian language, is the word Tuya. Tuya means holy. Grass is pull. Tuya pull means holy grass. Tuya pull means to pull in the Tamil language. That is why that little hamlet in Kanchipuram is called Thupul. And in that place, Vishwamitra must have meditated upon Brahman, Parabrahman. And thereby he received the blessings of Parabrahman in the form of a mantra. This mantra was always and already in vogue. But he was able to see the mantra. In those days, Maharishis were called as mantra drashta. They can see mantras. How, sir? Is mantra written there? No. The purport, the essence of the mantra they can see. Whatever that mantra means, they can see it in a beautiful canvas. So they were called Maharishis. So he was able to see the mantra, and that mantra was in the meter of 24 letters. It is called Gayatri. And this Gayatri is generally meant to invoke the blessings of Surya Deva, of the sun god. Thereby, it is called Surya Gayatri or Savitri. Hence, this Gayatri mantra was first given to the world. See, it already existed. Even before Vishwamitra, the mantra existed. But it was not known to many commoners. So, it was brought forth in a large, pompous fashion, with all grandeur by Vishwamitra. So, Vishwamitra obtained the Gayatri mantra and kept on meditating on it. Now, sir, he wanted to become equal to Vasishta. He wanted to become a Brahmarishi. What happened after that? that we will be able to see in the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I'm happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.